right? Listen up. You've spent ages planning. You've got your kit packed, your route memorized. You've got a bug out location locked in your mind, a safe haven when the world goes sideways. But what if I told you that sanctuary could be the biggest trap of all? Think your bug out location is safe? Think again. The difference between survival and becoming a statistic often comes down to one critical decision, where you choose to make your stand. The wrong choice, no matter how well equipped you are, can be a fatal one. It's a harsh reality, but one we have to face. The instinct to head for what seems like an obvious shelter is strong, I get that. But in a real crisis, the obvious choices are often the most dangerous. Today, we're exposing 5 popular bug out spots that could be deadly mistakes. The knowledge we're sharing today could be the single most important part of your entire survival strategy. So pay close attention. Don't make these survival errors. Let's get into it. The classic romantic image of survival. A rustic abandoned cabin deep in the woods. It seems perfect, doesn't it? 4 solid walls, a roof over your head, maybe even a fireplace. It's the first place many people think of. A ready-made shelter just waiting for them. But that's precisely the problem. You are not the only person with this idea. In a widespread emergency, these cabins become beacons, drawing in every desperate soul for miles around. You might get there first, but you'll have to defend it against people who are cold, hungry, and have nothing left to lose. These structures are also rarely as sound as they appear. You're not just inheriting a shelter. You're inheriting years of neglect and a whole host of hidden dangers that could take you out before the real crisis even does. The great expanse of a national park, miles of wilderness, abundant water, plenty of game, right? On paper, it sounds like a prepper's paradise. The reality is a brutal lesson in mob mentality. When a crisis hits a major city, where will millions flee? They'll head for the biggest green space on the map, national parks. These areas become overcrowded fast. All those resources you counted on, stripped bare within days. The serene wilderness turns into a chaotic refugee camp. You're not just dealing with the elements. You're dealing with thousands with no outdoor skills. A tinderbox of conflict over food, water, shelter. In an urban survival scenario, the instinct is to get high, get a vantage point. A rooftop seems like a fortress in the sky, a defensible position above the chaos on the streets. You can see trouble coming, and it feels secure. But this is a dangerous illusion. You've traded the immediate threats on the ground for a slower, more certain death from exposure. Up there, you are completely at the mercy of the elements. Searing sun in the summer can cause heat stroke, dehydration. In the winter, you're exposed to biting winds, freezing temperatures with absolutely no natural cover. And what about resources? Your rooftop castle has none. Every drop of water, every calorie of food has to be scavenged from the dangerous streets below and hauled up. The ultimate escape, a remote island, your own little kingdom, far from the madness of the mainland. It's a powerful fantasy, but the reality of island survival is one of crushing isolation and scarcity. Once you arrive, you are completely cut off. What seems like an advantage quickly becomes your biggest weakness. There is no resupply. There is no retreat. You have only what you brought with you and what you can find on that small patch of land. The resources on a small island are finite and can be depleted with shocking speed. What happens when you've eaten the last coconut, caught the last fish, or use the last of your fresh water. Your paradise becomes a prison, and you are its only inmate. For the truly committed prepper, the underground bunker is the ultimate solution. A concrete fortress, shielded from the world above, it protects you from fallout, storms, and other people. But what happens when your fortress becomes your tomb? The single biggest threat in a bunker is one you can't even see: the air you breathe. Ventilation systems are complex and require power. If that power source fails, or if the filters clog, your airtight sanctuary will slowly fill with carbon dioxide. You'll fall asleep and never wake up. It's a silent, invisible killer. Then there's the threat of water. Heavy rainfall you wouldn't notice on the surface could be catastrophic underground. You've survived the initial crisis only to be entombed alive. So there you have it. 5 seemingly perfect bug-out locations that are riddled with hidden deadly flaws. The abandoned cabin, the crowded park, the exposed rooftop, the isolated island, and the underground tomb. The common thread here is that the obvious choice is rarely the smart one. True survival isn't just about having the right gear or a destination on a map. It's about critical thinking, adaptability, and understanding the deeper dynamics of a crisis situation. Your survival plan can't be static. It must be a living, breathing strategy that you constantly test, question, and refine. The most important survival tool you have is not your knife or your fire starter. It's your mind. Keep it sharp. Stay smart, stay safe, and always question your survival plan. The wild is unforgiving of mistakes. This is what we're all about here, giving you the knowledge to make those life or death decisions correctly when it counts. Subscribe for more Survival Smarts quick tips. Now get out there and practice. Be prepared.